There's a concept, well, there's a bunch of different kinds of biases, and there's some we consider them fallacies, ways that we think as humans that sometimes fail the logic tests. And there's a number of different ones, and I'm probably going to start bringing a few in slowly, but I want to start with confirmation bias because I think it's one of the most important things. Because we always look for evidence to support what we already think. And this is why sometimes we get into these echo chambers where it comes to nutrition, physical activity, habits, whatever it might be. I mean, we see it in other aspects of life too, like politics, religion, all that stuff, the stuff they say not to talk about at the kitchen table or family dinner or whatever. But the problem is that we always are looking for information and facts and studies and things that support our biases. And what I'd like for us to do is to always look outside of that and try to challenge what we're thinking. And I like to do that for myself as well. Like, I'd like to find studies that might suggest otherwise from something I already know, and then I can look at that and say, okay, how much is this just like a fluke, or how much is this something I need to look into a little bit more often? And I have changed my position on a number of different things, thankfully, because I'm always looking to learn and challenge and to be uncomfortable with listening to things that maybe I won't necessarily agree with right away. And where this might apply to you guys is sometimes you might think that you should eat a certain way, should exercise a certain way, or whatever, and you'll find people in your circle or online or whatever it is that suggests that that's the way to go. And that really applies when you think that you have a really complicated situation, like your life is very different than everyone else's. You might look at that and hear someone talk about like these really small details and think, yeah, that's what it is. And I think this is a very common thing. Like, we look for these little things that maybe can somewhat have an influence on our goal. And then we that confirms our bias, that confirms our thinking that, the reason why I'm not succeeding is that little thing. And I don't want to get into details because it might sometimes feel like I'm calling somebody out. So there are a number of different things and there are subsets in the industry where people really think that the way that they're eating, the way they're exercising, whatever, is the right way. And I'm going to talk about some studies on around the world, different subsets of populations, like how they do really well, longevity, health, all that stuff. I'm going to bring that into the future. But I think it's suffice to say that moderation is always going to be key. But more than anything, always check your biases. Always check that you're not looking for information that confirms what you already think or what your opinion might be or what your hunch is. Always look for opposite information, and sometimes you can say, okay, I looked at the opposite and that stuff actually doesn't make any sense, that doesn't apply, whatever it is, but always check your confirmation bias.